What is up, everybody? Welcome back to RaceNews.com. Welcome back to another one of our previews, and welcome to the Tampa Bay Derby preview. Well, only one Kentucky Derby prep race coming up this weekend, and it will be race 11 at Tampa Bay Downs. Going to be a good one. Field of 7, kind of a tricky field, kind of a good field, but with some question marks as well. I'll put it up on the screen now. We'll go through them one by one. And like I said, it's, every time I kind of look through this, it's like, yeah, I could see these horses, maybe one or two of them jumping up being pretty good. I could maybe not, as well. And maybe they're a little overhyped, all of them. So we'll see as we go through here what we think. All right, let's keep going. Let's start, not keep going. Let's go to the number 1, Owen Almighty. And I would just kind of describe this horse as a tough luck horse of 2025 so far. It seems like we always have this horse where it's like, he's ran well enough. He should be 2 for 2, or he should, have 4 or 5 wins at the end of the year, and he doesn't because just weird stuff happens. So on debut, a 3-year-old debut, I should say, right here at Tampa Bay Downs, he finished first in the Pasco Stakes, but he was disqualified, and he was disqualified, for interference, and it probably was a good call. He was the best horse in the race, though. I don't think there's any doubt about it, but he did interfere with another horse and they took him down. So he did not win that race. He comes back. He runs in the Sam F. Davis last time out. To be honest, guys, I thought it was a pretty darn good effort. He looked like he was going to win the race. John Hancock kind of re-rallied on him and just was able to beat him that day. So, but still, I thought really 2 solid races right here at Tampa over this track. Irad Ortiz Jr. has not given up. He's back to ride for the 3rd straight time. So, look, I think he's a horse that should be 2 for 2, or at least could have been 2 for 2. He's in another good spot here, so we'll see what happens with Owen Almighty. He looks pretty good. All right, one of my favorite horses as a 2-year-old was Chancer McPatrick, and he's drawn the 2-hole here for his seasonal debut. He's an exciting horse. He came from last to first to break the maiden at Saratoga, came from way far back again to win the hopeful at Saratoga, came from way out of it again to win the Champagne at Belmont at the Big A, also known as Aqueduct. Went to the Breeders' Cup Juvenile as the 2-to-1 choice in that race and was 6th, beaten 6.5. Didn't run very well in that race. And did he not run well because of speed favoring, because they went slow up top, or does he not want to go 2 turns? I think all those things are in play here when it comes to Chancer McPatrick. First start out as a 3-year-old. Is he ready to rock off the layoff? I don't know. That's another big question as well. Flavian Pratt jumps aboard. Right away, what I will say, a lot of times with these horses, I'll say, yeah, next time, we get a race under their belt, and next time they'll be tough. That got me beat a couple times with Sovereignty and Journalism last week, where I thought, I think these are the best horses in the race, but or at least right up there, but I don't know about this time. And it got me beat a couple times last week. Will it happen again? That's kind of what Chancer McPatrick and the next horse we're going to talk about, the number 3, Hill Road, another one coming off the same type of layoff. Maybe a horse that's going to get better the longer you go. Next time out, maybe we think we're going to see him at his best, but he comes off of a 3rd place effort in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile last time out, where he closed up nicely to get 3rd. This was a horse that had been running overseas before coming to the Breeders' Cup Juvenile and running 3rd. Like I said, now is with Chad Brown. A little bit behind in the training, but they kind of got this horse caught back up after a couple little things happened. He's another one. It feels a lot like a Journalism and a Sovereignty, where it's like, yeah, the next race is where we're going to see them at their best, but maybe they show up here and run well. The Chad Brown duo, I think both are going to be kind of side by side in the race. They're both horses going to drop way out of it, make one run. So we'll see what happens. I tend to kind of lean towards I want to see a race from them. But again, that did get me beat last week in a couple of big races. But Hill Road, interesting horse also as well. First start with Chad Brown. Was the Breeders' Cup kind of an anomaly, and maybe we're not going to see him like that? Maybe he is going to be better on the turf. I don't know. I don't know the answer, but interesting entry here. We'll see what happens with him. Number 4 is Brodeur. This is a horse coming off 2 straight victories at Oaklawn Park. Broke the maiden going 6 furlongs before coming back. Last time out going a mile 16th there at Oaklawn and winning. Both races were solid. Neither race was like over the top great, but 2 very solid efforts from Brodeur. Great name, of course, I'm guessing, named after the great hockey goalie, Martin Brodeur. So rooting for him for that standpoint. Yeah, look, I don't know. I'm on the fence. I don't think either race really jumps off the page at me, but he's kind of a fast horse. He showed some toughness, I thought, in both races, really. So um, I'm gonna leave him off, but I am a little bit worried he might show up and run okay here. We'll see what happens with Brodeur. The number 5 is Filoso. This is a horse also like Hill Road and like Chancer McPatrick, making the first start as a 3-year-old. Last seen finished in 6th, beaten 9 links in the Kentucky Jockey Club. He was also 3rd, beaten 9.5 in the Breeders' Futurity. Good spot for him. I like the spot. I think it's a good place to get going. I am skeptical that this is the race for him, but maybe he can build up, and maybe that next race is where we're going to see him at his best. I think he's a cut below talent-wise. I really do. I don't hate him, though, and I wouldn't be shocked if he makes a little bit of an impact here. It's kind of a wait-and-see approach for me on the 5, Filoso. The number 6, Naughty Rascal. This is a horse that was moved up to first in the Pascal when Owen Almighty was defeated. Last time out was 6, beaten 13 links in the Sam F. Davis. This horse kind of feels like a sprinter. Stretch out in distance, didn't run very well. They're going to try it again. I don't really mind him trying it. I mean, you got to give him a shot. He's kind of earned his way here. He's not for me in this spot. That's what I'll say. I think when they cut him back, I think he's pretty good. Here, I'm just not quite sure on that one. And then finally, the number 7 is Patch Adams. And of course, Patch Adams was the 4-5 favorite in the Southwest Stakes. So a lot of hype on this horse. He did not run that well. He was pretty poor, let's be honest. 4th, beaten 2.5. It's interesting. You look at this horse, his first race, he was going 6 furlongs. He's on the lead, and he fades, but he finishes 3rd, beaten length and a half. Second race, he stalks the pace. He's right up on the lead, going 7 furlongs, and he wins by 10.5. In the Southwest, stretching out to 2 turns, you kind of assumed he would be right on the lead, if not on close to the lead. He's 7th, beaten 7 at the first call, 4th, down 7.5 lengths at the second call. What are we doing? I don't know. I was very confused by, was it a bad ride, or did he just not break very well and didn't want to get up there? What happened? I think you got to send him to the front, and if maybe not gets the lead if their horse is really flying, but I'm taking the lead with this horse unless they're really flying in this race, and I'm letting him get out in front of horses instead of trying to pass horses. Get him to the front and see if he's a stayer and maybe not a passer. That's what I gotta think you got to do with him here. We'll see. He's got to turn it around. Part of me is like, yeah, this is a good spot for him. I get it. It's reasonable. I think this is a really good race to kind of take him after that disappointment. But the other part of me is sitting here going, man, if Cox had more confidence, you'd see him at a little bit higher caliber race. So I'm really on the fence of what he's going to do. I'd like to see him run well. I'd like to see him bounce back. I think he's got to be on my ticket. I just can't, jump off of him completely. I think pick 4s, pick 5s, pick 3s. I think I got to include him. I just do. But we'll see what happens. Also, Flavian Pratt is on Chancer McPatrick and not Patch Adams. Look, I think that's a no-brainer, though. Pratt, it's a multiple grade 1 winning horse. Pratt's got to go ride Chancer McPatrick. And I'll say it, and I'm a huge Pratt fan, and I'm not being critical at all, but I don't know what the hell that was from Patch Adams last time out. They were not running that fast up front. He could have easily got the lead in that race if asked. So, again, could have just been the horse was dull, flat-footed. Could have just been a dumb ride. I'll just say it. I don't really know. I wasn't aboard him, but I don't know why he didn't go up there, but he didn't. So we'll see if he can get a little bit better trip this time. And like I said, it probably was more the horse than anything else. Certainly not second guessing Flavian Pratt. All right. That's the field of 7. Like I said, I could see Chancer McPatrick, Hill Road, Patch Adams, Owen Almighty. I could see him, being horses that maybe can jump on the trail and make an impact here. I went with the number 1, Owen Almighty. He's got the 2 races over the track. Both the races were pretty good. Tampa Bay plays a little bit quirky. So I like that about him. I think he doesn't really want to go past a mile and 16th, but I think he does want, he can go a mile and 16th and be okay. I kind of am just waiting and seeing with Chancer McPatrick and Hill Road. I wouldn't be shocked if they win. I don't want to play him to win. Patch Adams, I don't know what that was last time out. I'm not waiting and seeing with him. I'm just a little bit scared to play him. I'm also scared to throw him off, like I was saying. So I went number 1, Owen Almighty. I'm ready to be disappointed again. I singled him the day he was disqualified in the Pasco. I bet him to win in the Sam F. Davis. So I really thought, hey, he ran 2 races that were good enough to win. He did actually finish first in one of them and got DQ'd. So I've been really let down by him. But I also, at the end of the day, yes, didn't cash tickets on him or the sequences got busted. But I also looked and said, well, shit, he ran well. What more could you really want from him? So anyway, I'll back him again here. It's kind of be it, though. If he doesn't win this one, I don't know that I could go 4 races in a row with him if he loses this time. But I'm going to go number 1, Owen Almighty, on top for the Tampa Bay Derby. All right, guys, that'll do it for a preview of the Tampa Bay Derby live from Tampa Bay Downs on Saturday, March 8th. That'll be March 8th, I should say. That'll be race 11 on the card. All right, guys, thanks everybody for watching this video. Hit that like button if you like it. Subscribe if you really like it. Want to get alerted anytime we do videos like this. And most importantly, good luck if you're playing Tampa Bay Downs on Saturday.